Good evening. We're just after watching then Barcelona and Dynamo Kiev's just finished. So I just thought I would come on. I haven't done a live for a couple of days, been busy and stuff. So I just thought I would come on and talk a little bit about the game. So the game finished 2-1 to Barcelona, which is pretty close to confirming Barcelona's place in the knockout rounds of the Champions League in the new year. The game started. Lionel Messi got the first goal, penalty, and PK then scored on 65 minutes, and Kiev pulled on back in 75. But Barcelona were able to hold on to the win, which means 3 wins from 3 games in the Champions League. Top of the group, and it looks as though probably if they draw in Kiev in the next game week, which will be a couple of weeks away, based on the internationals or next week. So it's maybe 3 weeks possibly from today, maybe 2 or 3 weeks anyway. It's a few weeks away, for sure. So, but the next game I'll be against Kiev, and obviously, a draw should be enough, that as long as Juventus don't lose at home to Ferencváros, which is probably unlikely to happen. It looks as though the group's going as expected, with Barcelona and Juventus probably going to go through. Barcelona well in good position to win the group, which, to be honest, based on performances this season, is maybe a bit of a surprise. Tonight was another night where they got the job done, but the performance wasn't brilliant. Just looking at some of the stats, like they had a lot of the ball, 63%, and they did have a lot of shots. The young goalkeeper playing for Kiev had a good game. To be fair to him, I think he's only like 18 years old. So he done really well. There was a change obviously in goal for Barcelona tonight, which also, Barcelona's goalkeeper had a good game. Marc-Andre ter Stegen coming back in for the first time after injury. So it was good to see him back, and he was a little bit more busy than I would have liked, but it shows that hopefully now that he's had those injuries and the time to recover, hopefully he can get back to top form. As whenever he's playing well, he's one of the best in the world in this position. The lineup tonight, obviously, Frankie de Jong had the slot in alongside PK again. Definitely a bit short in defence. Alba was there, Dest was there, Busquets and Pjanic in midfield. I would rather have one or the other. Personally, I would rather have Pjanic, just because I feel like Busquets likes it on, but he didn't really look too exposed. Tonight, Fatty had a good game. Messi was decent again. Obviously not the level that we know that he can perform at, but he done enough. He done okay. Pedri was disappointing, but again, you can put that down to him being young. And Griezmann was disappointing again, to be honest. So, rather than go on and on and on about Barcelona, I just kind of, while we're here, we could take a wee look at the groups and stuff, just different results and stuff, and how we're at the halfway stage of the Champions League group. So just have a wee look how things are going in the other groups. So last night's group, so I'll go to them first. Let me see how to do this. How's the easiest way to do this? Probably go that way. It's not last night's yet, that's last night's. So Group A, you've got Atletico Madrid, Lokomotiv Moscow, Salzburg, and Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich 3-3 as expected. They looked like they were getting a tough game last night, and they ended up scoring the 4 late goals, which is crazy. Atletico got a draw in Russia against Lokomotiv, so you would expect them probably to win their home match there and be pretty close to securing Bayern Munich and Atletico as the two teams going through that group. Doesn't really look like there's going to be any surprises in that one. Group B. This is an interesting group. Crazy result. Borussia Mönchengladbach absolutely hammering Shakhtar Donetsk. Shakhtar obviously coming off. They beat Real Madrid away and drew with Inter. So they had 4 points coming into this game and were sitting pretty and got absolutely demolished 6-0. The other game, Real Madrid went 2-0 up, Inter got it back to 2-2, and Real won 3-2. So as it stands at the minute, Mönchengladbach and Real Madrid will go through. Shakhtar in third at the minute, apparently, although I think that I'm not 100% sure whether it goes to head or what way that works, so it might change. But you would probably expect Real Madrid will probably come out of the next half of games a bit better. But it's tight. Obviously, the loss against Shakhtar Donetsk and the draw, which they stole the draw really against Borussia Mönchengladbach, 2 really late goals. They were really up against it, but it leaves them a little room for error. So they're still under a wee bit of pressure, but it's Real Madrid, so they'll probably find a way to get through somehow. Group C, it's kind of looks mostly set. Man City 3-3. Porto hammered Marseille last night 3-0. So at the minute, like if it was kind of the way the fixtures are going and stuff, it looks as though it's like City and Porto's to lose. Olympiacos might, throw a spanner in the works, but it looks like it'll probably be City and Porto will go through. No real surprises there if that's what happens. Group D. This is another quite interesting group. It looks obviously like Midtjylland are the whipping boys of the group, and Liverpool have won 3-3. Really good one for them. Again, away to Atalanta 5-0. It's quite a surprise result. So that was a great win for them. But it looks as though it's going to be Liverpool's going to go through, Midtjylland's going to go out, and Ajax and Atalanta. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen there? I think they drew. I know they drew. It was 2-8 because Ajax were 2-0 up and it ended 2-2. But I think the game was in Italy. So if Ajax can win at home, they're going to be well placed. But then obviously, you might run into the issues where depending on what way the fixtures pan out and stuff, Liverpool or one of them, could surprise somewhere. But see. But at the minute, I would probably, obviously, Liverpool, I think, will be fine. Ajax might just have the advantage at the minute, but you never know. Group E. So Sevilla were struggling tonight and came back. I think they were 2-0 down and come back and won 3-2. It looks as though they had 10 men as well. Chelsea won 3-0 against Rennes. So it looks like it's going to be Chelsea and Sevilla. No surprises there. They're both on 7 points, and Rennes and Krasnodar are on 1. So it's probably going to be a battle between Sevilla and Chelsea to see who actually tops the group. Sevilla possibly slight favourites at the minute just because they still have the home game against Chelsea to come. Group F, Borussia Dortmund on 3-0 tonight against Club Brugge. I know Haaland got at least 2. Did he get the hat trick? No, he got 2, and Hazard got 1. Thorgan Hazard, Eden's brother. So yeah, good win obviously for Dortmund. They're on 3-0 winners away from home against Bruges. Bruges had been doing quite well. They had a win and a draw in their first two games, so it was a very good result. Zenit have struggled a wee bit, but they got a point against Lazio tonight, which leaves Dortmund on 6, Lazio on 5, and Bruges on 4. Zenit bottom of the group on 1. So I would expect Dortmund to come through that group. and there might be like an important game coming up then between Lazio and Bruges, but you would obviously expect Lazio to make it through that. But Bruges are certainly giving themselves a chance. Group G, I've already touched on. Obviously, that's the Barcelona group. So you've got Barcelona on 9, Juventus on 6, and Kiev and Ferencváros crew there meeting. So they're both on a point each. So realistically, I think that group's going to be over after the first match day. Juventus will win at home to Ferencváros. They beat them 4-1 away tonight. I don't see any reason why they wouldn't beat them at home. So that'll take Juventus up to 9. And Ferencváros will stay on 1. So they'll not be in a position to catch either Juventus or Barcelona. And if Barcelona can avoid defeat against Kiev, then Barcelona will be through as well. So it'll just be a case of who tops the group. Obviously, Barcelona have already won away to Juventus, so it'd be favourites to win the group. But if both teams are through, and depending on what their league schedules are like that weekend, the match at Camp Nou could go either way. And the final group is Group H, and again, this is a very interesting group. Manchester United got off to a great start. Hammered Leipzig 5-0 and won away in Paris to PSG, Paris Saint-Germain. But tonight they lost to Istanbul Başakşehir 2-1. And in the other game in the group, RB Leipzig got revenge on PSG for their Champions League defeat. Was that the semi-final? I think that was the semi-finals of the Champions League, and PSG done a job on Leipzig in Portugal. But they lost 2-1 tonight. 2 men sent off for PSG. Let's have a wee look and see. 2 men sent off, Kambembe and Gea. Early in the game or late? Yeah, both kind of like they were already losing 2-1, so I don't know, maybe they lost ahead a wee bit. Both for bookings, tallying up bookings, two bookings each. But that's a really good win for Leipzig. It makes that group looks really interesting there. You're sitting at the minute, Manchester United are top alongside Leipzig. Both teams on 6 points. PSG and Istanbul Başakşehir are on 3 each. So they'll all still look at that and fancy their chances. Obviously, United have got Başakşehir at home in the next game, so if they win that, takes them to 9, and we'll see what happens. Obviously, PSG will be home to Leipzig in the next game, so they'll probably expect to win that one. But if Leipzig could get a win in that game, it pretty much knocks PSG out, which would be a massive upset. But there's going to be a big side out. As I say, I think Leipzig and PSG were in the semi-finals. So obviously PSG got to the final, lost to Bayern Munich. So like they'd have been, finally felt like they maybe made a bit of a breakthrough in the Champions League, and to get knocked out in the group stage the season after reaching the final after disappointing for so long. It would be a real blow for them. So that's the Champions League groups. Obviously there is Europa League tomorrow. I don't know what people's interests like in the Europa League. From a personal standpoint, obviously I have a big interest in the Celtic group. So I reckon Celtic need a win. They probably need at least 4 points off. They probably need 4 points off, at least off Sparta Prague. A home win and a draw away from home. Obviously, I think Sparta Prague, from what I've read, seen wee headlines today. I didn't really read the articles, but I've seen headlines just whenever I was breaks and work and stuff. And I believe they're, impacted by COVID. So, Celtic really need to take advantage of that. Celtic have obviously had their own issues with the virus, with starting off with the 2 games called off because Bolingoli decided to go walkabouts. Incidentally, Bolingoli goes walkabouts. Celtic got rid of him, and there he was winning matches in the Champions League tonight for Istanbul against United. But yeah, Celtic got their issues with Edward, Biton, El Hamed. Brian Christie missed out because he was part of a bubble with I think it was Stuart Armstrong got COVID whenever he was with Scotland. So it was all been a bit messy for Celtic so far with it. So it'll be interesting to see, if they can get a bit of luck out of it from for a change. But there's just have a quick look at the games. Anything interesting. Benfica against Rangers will obviously be quite an interesting game. Although I think them two is probably from sort of the games that have started so far. They'll probably be looking likely to go through that group. Personal viewpoint again, just interesting to see the Irish team. Dundalk their way to Rapid Vienna. They've obviously they haven't. I think they've lost their first two games in the groups. Dundalk, but it's an achievement in itself for a team from the Republic of Ireland domestically to get to the stage they have. So anything they can do in the group stage, is a massive bonus, and good luck to them. Hopefully, it'll be nice for them to get something, from their games. There doesn't seem to be a lot of massive clashes, and there's a few groups of maybe two, maybe three decent teams, but they don't seem to be head-to-head in this round of matches, which will obviously then be the head-to-head matches the next time whenever the Europa League comes back around again. But I'll probably do something for the Celtic match tomorrow night, depending on how things go tomorrow. I'll look to maybe. I might try and do something, but I'll also be doing the quiz tomorrow night as well. So, I don't know if we'll be able to squeeze anything in Celtic. I'll maybe just do a couple of minutes at the start of the quiz and then go from there. But football quiz tomorrow night, 10 o'clock. 10 questions. So it'd be great if you could join me and let me know what you know about the beautiful game. So thanks for watching, and hopefully, as I say, you'll join me tomorrow for the quiz tomorrow night, 10 o'clock. I'll post a wee reminder as well. But good win for Barcelona. So thanks for watching.